Hey, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 is easily my favorite tablet of all time, and you should totally buy one. No, Samsung didn't pay me to say that, and yes, I normally use a lot of Apple tech, but I personally don't use products because it belongs to a certain brand. I use it because it works, and the Tab S8 works. It's so versatile, lightweight, decently priced, and remarkably useful, but don't worry. Don't you worry, we're going to spend the rest of the video explaining all of that stuff. Let's take a quick 30 seconds to establish the problem. The problem with tablets, or at least my problem with tablets, is if I have a laptop and I have a big phone, why would I own a tablet? Seriously, I don't know why to carry something around if it's not going to have functional value to me. Well, darn it, the Tab S8 has actual value for days, and I've been using mine constantly since it was released. The very first reason to buy the Tab S8 is the price. This tablet, and I actually kind of use that term lightly in this video, as we'll see later, this comes in at $699 brand new from Samsung. That's not cheap, and I do understand that. You can absolutely buy cheaper tablets for far less. Wow, that's an obvious statement, Gary. You can buy those from Samsung themselves and from other brands. Even Apple sells a cheaper tablet. But like I said in the beginning, tech has to have a certain level of functionality for me to buy it, or for me to recommend that you buy it. And I think the Tab S8 is actually the cheapest tablet computing environment on the market. No, I'm not kidding, and I'll explain what computing environment means in just a little bit. One of the nice things about buying from Samsung is while they don't have the same sort of refurbished store that Apple does, they'll take darn near anything as a trade-in for a pretty steep discount. Sure, you could probably make more money selling some of these things on your own, but this is easy and it directly makes your Tab S8 cheaper. That's a win-win. I love me some win-wins. The next reason to buy the Tab S8 is the overall construction of the tablet. I love how this thing is built and how it's laid out. One of my main concerns is previously when I'd owned Samsung tablets, they just felt kind of junky. Yes, that was because I'd purchased lower end models, but things like that stick with you, whether it's rational or not. This might surprise some folks out there. People are rarely wholly rational. But I have zero problems with the build quality here. Like I've said, I have used this a ton and in a ton of different places, and this has held up really well. And one thing I do want to make a note of here is we're talking about the standard S8 today. This isn't the S8 Plus or the S8 Ultra. I'm sure those are great and those are good in their own right. They have specs that are better than this, but I only own and really care about the 11-inch standard model. That size makes it perfect for throwing it in my work travel bag, and it's much easier and much more comfortable to carry around, even compared to my darling MacBook Air. We'll talk about why that's actually a closer comparison than you might think later, but it's just so nice and easy to bring with you, and that's a huge factor in my book for recommending or buying a bunch of tech myself. As you can see, I am kind of used to carrying my own stuff on my back, so lightness is a big factor for me. One of the other things that really stood out to me physically when I first got this was the front-facing camera. You know, the actual useful camera for tablets. Don't be this person. Nobody likes this person that's at the kids' concert or anything taking pictures like this. This is the useful camera, and I really like that it's built on top of the horizontal axis and not the vertical axis. That means for things like Teams meetings or other virtual conference apps, it's actually in a place that doesn't look up the corner of your nose. Now, it is a small tablet, and it has a lower viewing angle compared to a laptop to begin with, but at least it only looks a little bit up your nose, and it's not like the entirety of your nostril like the iPad Pro. Something else I've really liked about the physical specs is you get two kinds of biometric authentication. You get face recognition with a camera you can barely see and is on the top of the vertical axis, and you get fingerprint authentication with a little fingerprint scanner. I really like having both methods available, and I think this is something that all personal tech, not just tablets, I mean phones, computers, everything should all carry standard. Another reason to buy the Tab S8 is the accessories. Well, two accessories in particular. The S Pen and the slim keyboard cover. This is my favorite digital pen ever made. It's about as close to using a standard analog pen as I've ever seen on a tablet. Yes, I can hear you typing in the comments. Yes, I'm sure there are specifically made drawing devices that do this better, but I'm not a professional I'm not a professional artist. I love how this feels to write with, and I love that it has a physical customizable button built into it. The tip of this pen is just so much nicer to write with than like a standard Apple Pencil. This is a pen that I actually use, and I don't lose it because of that second accessory, the slim keyboard cover. It has a spot built into it right here to keep your pen safe. Look at that. Yes, you do have to put the pen on the back of the tablet to charge it, but it lasts long enough that I just mainly keep it here. Plus, talking about that slim keyboard, this is really nice. It is not as nice as the Apple iPad Magic Keyboard. It's missing a laptop-like trackpad, and the build quality is okay. It's not great, but for typing, it's pretty darn good. The keys feel nice and springy. Listen to this. That's pretty good, and it's freestanding. The other Samsung options are not freestanding, and I personally would not buy a tablet keyboard that couldn't sit on my lap. Now, I might have a slightly skewed version of these accessories as they came free when I bought the Tab S8 at launch, but I honestly could not imagine using this tablet without them because of the next reason to buy the Tab S8. When you set the tablet in the keyboard, you can have it automatically turn on Dex Mode. This mode essentially takes this from a tablet operating system into more of a Chromebook operating system. Remember when I said computing environment? I say that because this does so much. It's not fully a laptop, but holy crap, is it good enough of a laptop? This feature is the headlining reason to buy the Tab S8. It's so useful to have actual multi-window functionality without dancing through a ton of cumbersome side panels or other kind of like workarounds. It's just so obvious of a way to use a device like this that it shocks me that nobody else has stolen this idea. Everybody else tries coming up with fancy ways of making this work, but just like, this is what works. If you then plug this into an external display, the Tab S8 essentially becomes a home computer. Yes, it's more Chromebook than custom gaming PC, but fam, who needs more than this? Seriously, I am dead serious. Who needs more than this? If you aren't a gamer, you aren't some kind of content creator, or somebody with very specific program requirements that needs macOS or Windows, and you are somebody that just wants to pay the bills and check emails, this is the absolute perfect amount of computer functionality for you. You can also plug in a keyboard and mouse and just get full functionality, full computer functionality out of this 11-inch tablet. The versatility here is insane. When you buy the Tab S8, you aren't just buying a tablet. You are buying that whole computing environment that changes based on your need at any given moment. Do you need a tablet to watch a movie, read a book, or browse the internet? No problem. It can do that, no sweat. But then do you need a little more fine control and functionality? Well, then you just plug it in or tap a single icon and get computer mode. I had a really hard time writing the script and not just turn it into a bunch of me gushing about this, because that's boring, and Dex has been around for a while on Samsung phones and tablets, so this is not a shocking revelation, but it's so good, and every time I use it, I get impressed. That functionality alone makes this tablet worth buying. It's not the screen resolution or the sweet gaming apps. It's simple functionality that gives me the ability to not carry around a big, heavy laptop if I don't want to. But that's not the best part. That's not the only reason. Another great reason to buy the Tab S8 is you can upgrade the memory yourself. This has a slot for a micro SD card and can accept chips as big as 1 terabyte. Yes, this memory will be slower than a built-in hard drive, but it's a tablet. Who cares about how fast the read and write speeds are? You just need to be able to save PDFs, family pictures, movies, etc. And you can simply and easily expand and transfer your quote-unquote hard drive yourself. Also, you can expect roughly 13 hours of battery life from the standard Galaxy Tab S8. No, that's not crazy or earth-shattering like the stuff we've expected from recent MacBooks, but for a tablet this small, that's still really darn good and stacks up there with pretty much everything else on the market. You will obviously get less battery life if you are constantly using performance-demanding applications like web conferencing or gaming, but you should get a comfortable day's worth of work or a domestic plane flight worth of movie watching with ease. Seriously, the Samsung Tab S8 is hands down my favorite tablet of all time. Like I said, it's versatile, lightweight, decently priced, and it's just remarkable that I have a hard time recommending anything else. If you want a device that actually provides value and isn't just a bigger version of your phone, this is the one to get. And if you like this video and you want to see more, click right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.